So, good day everyone. My name is Kyla May Pilongat and today is another session. So, ngayon, this is my tuty. Yung dating tuty ko po na pwede ka bang magpakilala ulit?
Ako po si Justin R. Garcia from grade 8,
Grade 8. Saan ka nag-aaral, ating?
Angadanan High.
Ayan. So, siya po ulit yung dati kong tuty na si Justin. So, ngayon, ang gagawin lang ulit natin ay babasahin natin yung another kwento na naman para maintindihan nyo ulit kung ano nga ba ang another na kwentong babasahin. So, ngayon, babasahin ko muna siya and then sa susunod, ikaw naman. Makinig ka muna, Ading, and sundan mo yung kung saan ko binabasa yung mga words. Okay. The Tale of the Three Brothers. There were once three brothers who were traveling along a lonely, winding road at twilight. In time, the brothers reached a river too deep to wade through and too dangerous to swim across. However, these brothers were learned in the magical arts, and so they simply waved their wands and made the bridge appear across the treacherous water. They were halfway across it when they found their path blocked by a hooded figure, and it was Death. He was angry that he had been cheated out of three new victims, for travelers usually drowned in the river. But Death was cunning. He pretended to congratulate the three brothers upon their magic, and said that each had earned a prize for being clever enough to evade him. So the oldest brother, who was a combative man, asked for a wand more powerful than any in existence. A wand, man, a wand that must always win battles for its owner, a wand worthy of wizard who had conquered death. So Death had crossed to an elder tree on the banks of the river, fashioned a wand from a branch that had hung there, and gave it to the oldest brother. Then the second brother, who was an arrogant man, decided that he wanted to humiliate Death still further, and asked for the power to recall others from death. So Death picked up a stone from the river bank and gave it to the second brother, and told him that the stone would have the power to bring back the dead. Finally, Death turned to the third brother. A humble man, he asked for something that would enable him to go forth from that place without being followed by Death. And so it was that Death reluctantly handed over his own cloak of invisibility. In due course, the brothers separated, each for his own destination. The first brother traveled for a week or more, and reaching a distant village, sought out a fellow wizard, with whom he had a quarrel. Naturally, with the elder wand as his weapon, he could not fail to win the duel that followed. Leaving his enemy dead upon the floor, the oldest brother proceeded to an inn where he boasted of the powerful wand which he had snatched from Death himself, and of how it made him invisible. That very night, another wizard crept upon the oldest brother as he lay wine sodden upon his bed. The thief took the wand, and for good measure slit the oldest brother's throat. And so Death took the first brother for his own. Nakakasunod pa po? Ayan. Meanwhile, the second brother journeyed to his own home, where he lived alone. Here he took out the stone which had the power to recall the dead, and turned it thrice in his hand. To his amazement and delight, the figure of the girl he had once hoped to marry before her untimely death appeared at once before him. Yet she was sad and cold, separated from him as though by a veil. Tough, tough she had returned to the mortal world. She did not truly belong there and suffered. Finally, the second brother, driven mad by hopeless longing, killed himself so as to truly join her. And so Death took the second brother for his own. But Tough Death searched for the third brother for many years. He was never able to find him. It was only when he had attained the great age that the youngest brother finally took off the cloak of invisibility and gave it to his son. And then he greeted Death as an old friend, went with him gladly, and as equals they departed this life. Ayan. So ngayon, ikaw naman ang susunod na magbabasa. Pwede mo nang simulan natin.
There were once there three brothers
Pwede
who were
sa sa title mo natin.
the tale of the three brothers. There were once three brothers who were traveled along lonely winding round to
At
while in
twilight.
time the brother reached river to dip. The wind right and to the gorge to swim across. However, the brother were learned in the magic art, and so the simple wave they went and mountain bridge apart across the
Treacherous.
treacherous water. They were halfway across, and when they found their path blocked by a hide
Hooded.
hooded figure, and it was dead. He was angry that he had been cheated out of their known victims. For travel usually drowned in the river, but Dead was cunning. He pretended to congratulate the three brothers upon their magic and sign that each had earned, earned a prize for being clever enough,
Enough.
enough to avoid him.
Evade him.
So all the brother who was a combative one, Simon asked for a one more powerful that only existed
Existence.
existence, one that must always win the battle for its own honor. I want word of a wizard who had conquered dead, so that had crossed to the elder tree on the bank of, of the river, fashioned a wand from a branch that had him hung through and give it to the eldest brother. Then the second brother, who was
Arrogant.
arrogant man, decided that he wanted to humiliate the still further the ask for the power to recall others from death. So they picked up two stones from the river bank and give it to the second brother and told him that the stone would him to power to bring up the day. Finally, they turned to their third brother, a horrible man. He asked for something that would enable him to go for from the place
without
being followed by dead, and so it was that dead re- reluc- reluctantly handed over his own clock to incivility.
invisibility.
In due course, and brother separate each for its own destination. The first brother traveled for a week of work and reached in distance village south of out of Flow Wizard that who he had a quarrel naturally and elder one as him a wo-
Weapon.
weapon he could not fail to win the deal and follow leaving his enemy dead upon the alone and all eldest brother proceeded to an inn where he visited of the powerful one which he had stand from dead himself and of he it made him invincible. That very night another wizard crept upon the olden brother as he lay when seated up upon his bed. The third took the word and for good measure sleep and elden brother in drought and so took the first brother for his own. Meanwhile, the second brother journeyed to his own home, where he lived on alone. Here he took out the stone which had the power to recall and dead, and third entreat in his hand. To his amazement and delight and figure of the girls, he had once happened to marry before her own timidly died dead. Upward appeared and once before him. Yes, she was sad and cold, separate from him as right be a wild throat. She had returned the, to the mortal world. She did not truly belong there and suffered. Finally, the second brother, driven by happiness, long, longing, killed himself so as to truly join her, and so dead took the second brother for his own. But Ruth dead searched for the third brother. For many years he was never able to, to, to find him. It was only when he had attained a great age that the youngest brother finally took off the cloak of invisibility and gave it to his son. And then he great dead as an old friend went with him gladly as an and as equal they depart this life.
Ayan. So, very good. May nag-improve naman sa'yo sa pagbabasa last session natin. So, hoping na sana may natutunan ka ngayon and abangan na lang natin ang susunod na session po ulit. Okay? Maraming salamat, Adi.